Well, hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I am the cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour. We're still doing our Natasha Denona Lucky Dip. So before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new uploads. And if you like this video at the end, give it a big thumbs up. So let's see what we're going to get today. Right, I think maybe day 6. I don't even know. I'm forgetting the numbers. So let's just see what we're going to get. Right, it's another bright one. So we have the mini pastel palette. It's not going to go with what I planned on wearing, but there you go. I'll have to change. Anywho, let's start with that. You can see it's quite dark over there. It's early morning. Coffee time. Nightmare Before Christmas is my favourite. This is a really interesting palette in. It has one matte shadow, which is this green. These are all shimmers. Yeah, I know. Are you worried? I've created looks with this before. Is this a work look? Not really. Okay, so going to be using 2 brushes for this green. Given that it's our only matte, going in with a fluffy blender, which we will use to shear out, and then we will build it up a little bit. So looking straight ahead into the camera. I should straighten up a bit. I'm slouched. Looking straight ahead, we'll build everything around this. You've seen me in this a few times. This is one of the things I chuck on after I've had a shower in the morning, before I get dressed. It's my house coat, essentially, or just so I'm not wearing back in my pajamas, or sitting here with a towel wrapped around me, and I don't like to put my wet clothes on, or clothes that I'm wearing for the day generally, until I'm all sorted with my makeup. So I've just windshield wiped that in our transition and buffing it out now to sheer out. And giving it a, God, my throat's making some weird noises. Just to give the lid a wash of colour. So, that's sort of where we are for our base. We're going to build everything around this now. Okay, I was going to intensify that. I am not yet. I am going in with a smaller crease brush. Where we start, we'll go in with the pink, in on the inner corner here. And this is where we will start. The hardest thing with these being shimmers is it can, if you've got older eyes, if you are more mature, it can look like it's quite texturized. We don't normally like to put much shimmer on the fatter part of our lids. Okay, so now going in with the blue, the lighter of the two, just using the same brush. Just going next to that for a bit. Bringing the brush with the green on it and nothing else up over the top of that a little. Not sure how I feel about that. Okay, let's go in, getting a thicker, more intense sort of packing dense brush. It's not a flat dense brush, it's a round one. Into that blue and stamp that on the outside here. On both. Okay, right, now we're getting somewhere. Back to a finer blending brush. My brain really wasn't working as to what I was going to do here, so this is a shimmer, but it's not so bad because it's a little bit darker. Going back in with that, just to re-intensify, just sort of from that creasy area and down. And then using this brush, going in with the green just over the edge of that. To take away from the matteness of it and reintroduce that colour. As you can see, we're starting to blend all of these in together. Think of it like a watercolour painting. Going back in to this sky blue, silvery blue. Just bringing that there. I had no real direction when I started doing this, so we're just sort of letting the colours do their thing. And consistently just going back to bring this green in a little bit, because what it does is it pulls down. You don't have to necessarily put anything back on your brush. But you wouldn't think that a green like this is going to anchor your colour, but it does. Cleaning off this brush that we've been using the lighter shimmers on and going back into the pink. Just bringing that there. And into the inner corner. So we've got this big section here that we haven't used yet, right? Okay, so I've got the Natasha Denona Macro Tech liner. This is in the greener shade that came out with the Yucca palette. It's a bit deeper than what this green is, but that is fine. Using an angled liner brush now, going into the green because it is our matte. And it's not as intense as I want it to be, so I'm going over the outer corner with this blue to try and give it a bit of depth. Given this is a pastel palette, that's where we can run into a bit of problems. Now I'm just going to get a flattish shader brush. It's clean. I'm just going to run across this to blend it out, smoke it out a little bit. Not adding any more product. So no product on this, just going around the edges. And the same with the blue. Just getting that blend in there. So we've got the diffusion between like the blue and the green. Now it's going into that pink again on that inner corner because we didn't quite bring that. And then the icy blue, because we're just trying to make it a little cohesive when we're using unusual colours. And speaking of unusual colours, this one here, look at that. You go, it's a topper really, and it doesn't really seem to match anything, but it makes it unique. And we're just putting that all over that area on our mobile lid. That is a gorgeous shade though, isn't it? It's different compared to the rest. And see, I'm brave. I do stuff like this and go to work in my daytime corporate job. And yes, they're used to it. Sometimes there has been some rather unusual choices. I do really like that shade, but I don't really feel like it probably matches the rest. Do you know what I mean? I think that's starting to hard pan him on. I have used this a fair bit, so I'm just bringing this up a little bit into that icy pink and blue. Look at that. Oh, that'll make a nice lip topper. That's where we're at right now. I am going to go and do the rest of my face and get dressed for work and get sorted, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is it. I am all ready for work. So even got the blazer on today. You don't normally see that. Just got a lightly, look at that. And so I already haven't even checked my teeth. Just got a really soft lip on. You know, once mascara's on and we've got a bit of a soft look now, it tones it down a bit. You may not think that, but it actually does. So I have used this palette a lot. I'm not going to lie. Is it the easiest palette to use? Absolutely not. Is it my favourite palette to use? Nope. But it's a different palette, so gets you out of your comfort zone. A few little colours. I mean, we're in autumn bordering on winter here, so not exactly the normal colours that you would wear at this time of the year, but we did again use all 5. So we've got the blue out here, we've got the green, we've got the lighter mint blue in here, mint blue, icy blue, with the pink, and then that sort of unusual topper. So that is how it looks. And you saw it's just about buffing those sort of colours into each other to get that, you know, graduated blown look, so that you're not a hard colour, a hard colour, a hard colour, a hard colour. You've got to blend them in. So as long as you're prepared to go back and forth between those colours, you can do it. If you've ever wondered about it, that's the sort of thing that you can do. I just don't think there's a lot of versatility in this palette in particular, just because of the colours are quite polarising and quite unique in it, in the pairing. There being one matte, I would have preferred there to be another matte in there. Maybe this blue would have been good to be a matte, but then that being said, this keeps it in that pastel vein. Obviously she's got her larger pastel palette as well. What I will say is Glaminatrix do it a lot better. They have a row, if you've seen it. I've got a palette up where I do 5 or 6 looks from it. They've got a row of really deep shades in it that takes it to the next level. So that is it. What are we going to end up with next? Let's see, what have we got left in there? Yeah, we've still got some colourful ones left in there, I think. Yeah, we've still got a couple. Until next time, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends to come along and subscribe to this channel. Have a chat. Tell me if you would be brave enough to use that palette. Until next time, bye.